It's Monday, October 7th, and you're listening to the Geek at Geek News Central, the longest continuous running tech podcast. This is show number 896, sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com. Our October GoDaddy special, our customers get economy hosting for $1.99 per month and a free .com at GoDaddy.com by using the promo code HOSTOFF3 or get a .org for just $9.99. Details at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Geek News Central is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. Hey, I tell you, we got a great show lined up for you tonight. If I can spit the words out, let's launch this baby and get into it. Strap in. Here it comes.
All right, people, I need a go, no-go for the Geek News Central podcast. Digital archive recorders.
We're go fly.
Microphone.
We're go fly.
Video feed.
Go.
Web browser.
Go.
RSS data stream aggregator.
Go fly.
Interflux Toddism suppressor.
All right, I'm confused.
Host readiness check.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
The Geek News Central podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Cue Todd in
5,
Button, who's got the button?
4,
There is no cause for alarm.
3,
Everybody hold on to something.
2,
Just press the button.
1.
Aloha and welcome to Geek News Central, coming to you as live as it can be from the beautiful state of Hawaii via the Geek News Central studio overlooking Greater Honolulu. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. And I tell you, sometimes you engage recorders, you engage the live stream, but you can't engage your mouth. And my wife was saying, I listened to the first part of your show the other day, and you were like choking on yourself. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's just like that. But hey, all of you, welcome to the show. And those of you who are new or long-time subscribers to the show, thanks for being here. Of course, thanks for being part of the Ohana. And of course, Ohana here in Hawaii means family. So we will welcome you to the family of listeners and viewers of this show. And I'm glad you decided to check us out. Or if you've been here for a long time, thanks for staying subscribed. Got a great show lined up for you tonight. Got a lot of content to get into. Matter of fact, when I was getting the prep of the show ready tonight, I was kind of like, wow, I'm kind of digging here. There wasn't a lot of news. And then there was like boom, 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 4 or 5 real good things. So we'll get into that here in the direct order. But I got some stuff to share with you tonight. Of course, if you're new to the show, definitely get over to geeknewscentral.com. Check out all our great content. We've got writers over there that put up great content on a daily basis, along with all of our shows. We've got the Gadget Professor, Robot Underpants, of course, the new media show, which is done every Saturday, myself and Rob Greenlee, and then this show here produced every Monday and Thursday and released Tuesday and Friday. And you can get subscribed to the show real easy. There's a RSS feed or an iTunes link there on the website. And doing that will assure you that you'll always get the show delivered to your device, or at least have it queued up in there so that you know that the show is available. Also, you can sign up for a newsletter on the website as well. The newsletter comes out immediately following the show. It contains everything that I'm going to cover today during the podcast. And, of course, you can find all of today's show notes at GNC-2013-10-07 /896. So, again, GNCshownotes.com /896. You can contact us, or contact me here, rather, on the show real easily. And let's see if I can get this queued up here. You can follow me on Twitter at Geek News. Of course, you can follow the email at you can email me at geeknews@gmail.com. And the hotline, which is going away, November 1 will be when we'll shut the hotline down. It's open for just a few more weeks here, 619-342-7365. We encourage you to go ahead and make your comments heard on the hotline, and feel free to email me here and let me know what you think about the show and so forth. All right, let's see here. You can watch the show on the Tech Podcast channel on the Roku, Boxy, Samsung Smart TV, Google TV, Chromecast, you name it, we're available. So definitely get subscribed and watch the show, and really any glass is possible. Your iPad, your Android, your right on your computer. You can watch and listen really any place there's an internet connection, and we have the show available to you. All right, we're of course part of the Tech Podcast Network over at techpodcast.com, so definitely check us out. Check all the shows out over there. 140 plus family safe shows over at techpodcast.com, so check them out. We're streaming live tonight up on YouTube, And we want to thank our longtime sponsor here of the show, GoDaddy.com, for sponsoring tonight's show. And we've got a great deal for you. Really, this is the place to come to save money. And what they've done for October is really 3 incredible offers. You've got the $1.99 economy hosting, $1.99 per month economy hosting for 12 months with a free .com by using the promo code HOSTOFF3. Or in appreciation, or I guess in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you can get a .org domain for the first year for $9.99 by using the promo code ORG4. And you can get 30% off your order at GoDaddy by using the promo code. This is a new order by using the promo code 30DEAL3. Again, 30DEAL3. Now, if I come over to the website and we scroll down the web page, about just a little bit under the fold, there's a link there that says GoDaddy promo codes. You click on that, and that's going to take you onto our GoDaddy page where all of our codes are at there. And there's a code there for every occasion, ways to save you a lot of money. So definitely use our codes, share them. We got the results of last month's, basically for those of you that went out and purchased stuff on those codes. We want to thank you very much because had a great month last month. And, this is 2 or 3 months in a row. You guys have really hit it out of the ballpark. And I really think it's because they continue to put together these fabulous deals for you. Who could think you could get for $1.99 a month or $24 a year, minus what a normal .com costs, about $8 or $8.50. You could be right in there getting a year's worth of hosting for $16.50. That's what it really breaks down to if you look at the total value of the package. Incredible, really is. Now, not everyone has the need for .org, but maybe it's time that you would gift a .org to an organization you belong to. It's real easy. All you got to do is go on the website, look for the domain that you want, register it, and you just gift it. You register it in someone else's name for them, and it's a fantastic way to for $9.99 you give someone a .org, and of course that 30% off your order. Boy, that's for the folks who are going out and really getting those great big ticket items, whether it be a more higher level hosting count, or whether it be a shared server, a virtual dedicated server, and so forth. And that reminds me, I've got a server due for renew. So got to break out the credit card and use one of my promo codes to save some money on a renewal. So again, we want to thank the folks over at GoDaddy. And again, we've got it set up now so you can get in and get out of their website real fast. The links that we have on our website take you over there and really get you through their system very, very quickly, and allows you to save a lot of money. And that's the best part. And of course, I like their new business-centric focus. Less jiggle, more content, more services. So we want to thank our good friends over at GoDaddy.com for everything that they've done. And of course, there's Danica's car painted up in the breast cancer awareness colors. So, but anyway, thanks for GoDaddy for being a sponsor here. I was looking at the calendar, and boy, oh boy, we're just a few days away from our 9th anniversary. The first show, I went back in the archives. I have to remind myself every year, because it's, fellas, it's like remembering your wedding anniversary. You're getting close, and you say, okay, was it the 18th or was it the 20th? Oh, the 20th was the kid's birthday. We all have that. A lot of fellas are like me. We, how should I say it? I have an appointment entry that basically reminds me a couple of days ahead, hey, don't forget your anniversary is coming up. So I need to make one of those for the show. But on the 9th, this will be our 9th anniversary. The show started October 9th, 2004. Boy, just think about that. 9 years ago. I'm definitely got a lot more gray here. Probably about 30 or 35 pounds more on the torso here. And boy, just thousands of hours of work of putting this show together for you guys. I just think about that. We're approaching 900 shows, and that's, and my son was saying it tonight. He says, wow, almost 900. He says, that's a lot. And I'm like, well, yeah, considering that, the kids were all really, really small when we started. And it's pretty incredible if you think about it. And Chris was just a baby, and was Chris even born? I mean, think about that for a second. Yeah, so it's just amazing. It really, really is where we've come, in this amount of time, and the things that we've done, and the sponsors, and all this stuff with the podcasting business. I digress. I don't want to get too deep into this tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about it on the next show. We'll kind of do, it's real close here. And normally there's a little bigger spread between the anniversary show and then when we round off and hit a 100 mark or 900 mark. But very, very cool. All right, I did get some emails from some listeners, and I've got to get some emails back out. But I think we've got the contest coordinator position. I haven't informed anyone yet, so if you've applied and you haven't heard an email from me, don't worry. But I think we've got the contest coordinator kind of nailed down on who's going to be helping us out with that. So really what I'm looking for now is an insider coordinator. And of course, I talked about this on the last show, was really looking to just kind of get someone else that's going to help out with the show. It's just, in its very, very minor duties, nothing that's too complicated. And we want to basically kind of streamline some of the processes here. And really, because I'm at this level of task saturation, I'm just about there. I think the water is just above my lip. So I think it'll make the show from a production standpoint be a lot less rushed, and have a little more time to focus on the show and some of the other stuff. And, start hopefully with the fan base is big enough that we'll get some folks to step up. Again, an insider coordinator is what we're looking to fill. And you're just going to help out with the insiders and maintain the mailing list and so forth, and help me with some event planning and so forth. So that's what we're looking like for the insider coordinator. Hey, one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start putting some specials in the show notes. I've got an affiliate account with the folks over at B&H, and today there was the new Nikon 610 camera. His pre-order has become available. So in the show notes tonight, I'm going to have the pre-order link available if you are a Nikon fan. And some of you probably been planning on buying this camera anyway. So I've got some special pricing on some lenses and so forth. So all those links will be in the show notes. So as I get some cool specials I think may apply to you guys, I'm going to put those in the show notes. And every time you click on one of those links and pick something up over at B&H, what it really does is it helps the show out. You're really making a contribution when you purchase through B&H. We've done stuff in the past with Amazon, but really, the thing I like B&H is to make it easy for me. They just mail me. They just mail me the specials and the links, and I can really easily cut and paste into the show notes and share that information with you guys and make it available. All right, what else is in my little stack here, stuff I wanted to talk about tonight? Hey, we are probably, I'm just a few days away. Jeffrey Powers over at geekazine.com, one of our team members for CES 2014. We've been working on this crowdfunding that we're about ready to kick off. And the team really came together to come up with some really cool crowdfunding levels. And this is going to be different than, crowdfunding is basically you set a goal for a certain amount of money that you want to raise. And if you don't reach that goal, you still get the money. But what happens is what you promise, you still have to fulfill in each of the categories. So we've tried to make it so that we're going to have a really cool opportunity for everyone. From the listener all the way to a corporate sponsor. So we've made it all different levels. I think you guys are going to be, I think you'll give us a A-OK on, or basic an A for effort when it comes to our levels and some of the stuff we've done. We've tried to make it fun. The rewards are going to be fun. There'll be some tangible stuff. I don't want to go too much details yet. We've made a great partnership with a third-party site that many of you guys know very well. So I'm really excited about all this, and we hope to be able to, maybe next week, launch this thing. So if you love our basically our coverage of CES, you're going to be able to help us out in small ways or larger ways if you so desire. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, this crowdfunding event, and I'll kind of get you guys into the mode of what we've got planned and kind of the spirit of everything. And I think you guys are going to be really, really excited. And we hope this is kind of innovative in the way that we're going to present it. And I think it's different than what I've seen other folks doing crowdfunding stuff. And so anyway, it'll be a lot of fun. All right, so let me go ahead here and let's get into the content, because I got to stack just a pile of stuff to get through here tonight. And let me close up some of my windows. Tell you, I've got a teenager, a senior here at the Cochran household. For those of you that have teenagers or soon to be on their own, or soon to be, you know what I mean, driving me crazy. And my hair, I'm losing it faster. It's getting grayer quicker. And it's all because of a single 17-year-old that's driving me nuts. And dads that are out there, boys are a lot easier than girls. That's the truth. Wow, it's been insane. I'm looking forward to getting past this stage. But I'm sure it's just like anything else. It's whatever it'll be the next thing. Okay, let me load up this. I'm almost ready here. Our last new media show on Saturday, I had Jamie Davis, the pod medic from mediccast.com, and Don Bain, our own Don Bain, the gadget professor. And both Don and Jamie have covered a variety of trade shows, not only from a producer side, but from a talent side. And for those of you that are content creators that are trying to figure out where to take your shows and how to get connections and how to make relationships, this is an episode that you won't want to miss. I'll have the link, obviously, in the show notes. It's up on the website already. But I think we've covered a lot of ground and give a lot of good ideas for content creators on how they can do a trade show and how to start out, how to build bigger. Those of you who've been with us for a long time, you probably know our story already, but I think you'll be excited to hear this episode. Rob will be back with us next week, and we'll have a more mainland type of guest on. But I want to thank Don and Jamie for coming out this past Saturday. And all these talk, around the world about green, being energy efficient, when it comes to solar, wind, geothermal, all this stuff. Of course, solar is huge here in Hawaii. Matter of fact, it's gotten so huge that the local electric company is starting to limit the number of people that can have solar in a neighborhood because they got to change out equipment, and there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. But something we haven't heard about in a long time is on nuclear fusion. And there's a pretty exciting article, and the only place I saw it was on the BBC, and I don't know why. I only saw it on the BBC. I don't know if the American outlets were slow to pick it up because of all this craziness going on with the government shutdown or partial government shutdown, or whatever it is whatever this thing is being called. But harnessing fusion, which is of course the process that powers the sun, could provide an unlimited and cheap source of energy. But to be viable, fusion power plants would have to produce more energy than they consume, which really is kind of proven elusive up to this point. Now, there's been a breakthrough done by scientists at the National Ignition Facility, NIF. NIF, based in Livermore in California, used 192 beams from the world's most powerful laser to heat and compress a small pellet of hydrogen fuel to the point where nuclear fusion reactions take place. Now, as the BBC understands that during this process, in late September, the amount of energy, now listen to this carefully, the amount of energy released through the fusion reaction exceeded the amount of energy being absorbed by the fuel. This is the first time this has been achieved at any fusion facility in the world. Now, that's pretty big. Now, what does that mean? Did the lasers put out, let's just use a factor of 1. Did the lasers put out, consume, a quantity of 1 of power, and then they got 1.01 of energy out of the fusion? Or what was the number? And they're not revealing that, and what the actual ratio was and difference. But, for half century here, researchers have strived for controlled nuclear fusion, and they've been disappointed, and it was hoped that the NIF would provide the breakthrough fusion research needed. And so it looks like they may have. Now, this facility was $3.5 billion, and this facility shifted focus in cutting the amount of time spent on fusion versus nuclear weapons research, which was part of the lab's original mission. So this is exciting stuff. Now, there's a lot of naysayers about nuclear, but anytime you can get more out of something than you're putting in, that's big. Now, what is the quantity? What is the size, the controllability, the duplicity, all that stuff that goes into, determining if something is a viable power source. And that's why coal, has always been this energy source that has gotten so much bang for the buck, and same with oil. It's been really hard to beat those from a amount of energy derived from the quantity. And but anyway, this is cool stuff here. So we'll see where this leads, and good stuff. Good. So we'll keep an ear on this and see what happens. Now, one thing has been happening here in my household is I've had a few incidents. I got some, a young man here that is getting a little older. My daughter is obviously going to graduate here in next summer. So, as they've gotten older, the type of computer things that I have to do to, and I'm not this overreaching control freak type of a person that's on the internet, but I still require them to use the internet in the living room. They're not allowed to take the laptops to their bedrooms. They can do, they do homework out here. And I have trust, but at the same time, we try to make sure that we maintain, and especially for my younger son, just make sure that everything is being used and up and up. Now, we know that teenagers will do what teenagers do, and they could use their mobile phones for a variety of nefarious reasons. But, one thing I did do recently was basically lock down the domains to certain websites that are pretty well known out there. And we know that a lot of there's a million adult websites, but there's a lot that have a higher popularity rating at this point, and we added some of that stuff to the filters. So one rule that I've always had here in the house was that I'm going to trust you, but if I find something in the router log file that looks a little funny, or if there's something you've cleared a cache or something. So yesterday, doing my normal walkthrough on the computers, I noticed that the cache had been cleared on my son's account, and we had a discussion, and he really didn't have a good explanation why the cache had been cleared. And as a matter of fact, the cache shouldn't have been able to be cleared based on the security settings I had set. And so we had a discussion about that. But teenagers are very, how should we say it? They will use every trick in the book, as you guys probably well know. So we've got a teenager right now that's on internet restriction, because he cleared the cache, and basically he's kind of trying to cover his tracks from something. And I have a pretty good idea where it comes, because my router, which all the traffic goes through, also logs that information. So, long story short, he was probably somewhere he shouldn't have been. And so we got, I started looking through the computer and, okay, all right, now I'm got my attention, I'm hyper focused. I'm going to be digging in a little bit deeper. And, I found a couple things on the computer that probably shouldn't have been there. So there's a hacker born in every kid today. And so for me, it wasn't unexpected, but, we'd been pretty good up to this point, and you figure at some point something's going to, rise to the top that shouldn't be there. And so, we've addressed it and everything else, and on a multitude of levels. And my son, my youngest son, I've always known, I don't ever want to type a password around him because I just type it once and he's got it. He doesn't, if he's standing beside me and I type the password on the keyboard, no matter how fast I do it, boom, he gets it. He's got one of those photographic memories. So, you're trying to figure out how you direct this, direct all this energy, they want to be like dad. They want to be a geek. They want to be cool. And I'm reading a lot of stuff now about these opportunities that are coming up where kids are going in and learning programming and a variety of different things. There's a great article that I ran across late this afternoon on Read Write Rev talking about 14 hackers and another even younger one. And it talks about how it's easier than ever for kids to hack code and electronics. And there's a pretty good profile of 5 different teens here. The interests go way beyond, being on social media and a variety of different sites. And I just kind of giggled a little bit because, these kids are really getting out there and doing some cool stuff and building projects and electronics. And I think what it really boils down to, and it kind of made me sit back a little bit, is that when I was younger, my parents always gave me plenty of opportunity to experiment. Whether in back in those days, it was like, for one example, I went to an auction and there was old switching equipment from a telephone company that was a lot in the auction. And I just went absolutely crazy thinking that I could buy telephone equipment that was in a central switching station. And when the lot came up, like hardly nobody bid on it. And I got it for like a song, like 20 or 25 bucks, this whole probably multi-million-dollars worth of gear that they were liquidating. And it drove my dad crazy because we had to trailer it all home and I had it in the garage. And, I never was able to get it to work, but I really learned a lot about telephone switching systems at that time because I tore this thing to pieces and broke down and got into the guts, and it was really, really good. I think there's a lot of that is missing today. The Maker series and stuff really helps, and we've bought some of those kits and brought them in and played with them. But it just goes to show, I think, as parents, we all should be looking to harness the stuff that their kids are really interested in, so that we don't run into these internet challenges, which may to a certain extent still pop up anyway. But whether or not you have someone that's going to be building a maker thing, or if they're going to do some programming, there's a lot of cool opportunities out there for building robots, which my oldest son likes to do a lot as well. So I'll have this link up in the show notes. You guys can check it out. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys some brain food tonight to kind of think about that. If depending on what age your kids are in the house, or if you don't even have kids yet, maybe where you can help out and support some teenagers in different situations that may want to pursue a geek life. And there's a lot of money in geek. There is, and you can't go wrong with it. But anyway, very, very cool. Readwrite.com. I have the link up in the show notes here on how you can meet 14 hackers and even a younger one from this article. It's a cool read and some food for thought. I thought I'd just share with you there a little bit. I'm sure moms and dads and that you out there, you've probably addressed this with your teenagers. But anyway. All right, over on ours, this is really switching topics here. Airbnb has gotten a subpoena to man data on all of its 15,000 New York City area hosts. This is big. So basically, Airbnb has gotten this subpoena saying, I want to know who's rented out their apartments or homes. And the city insists, though, it isn't going after the casual renter. They say they want to find landlords who may have removed apartments from the rental market altogether and are essentially running to hotels off the Airbnb site, a violation of a 2010 law that makes it illegal to rent an apartment for fewer than 30 days. But by collecting information of 15,000 users, Airbnb says that this prosecutor is going way too far, and that the company has 225,000 users in New York City in total, meaning fewer than 7% of those users are actual hosts. So the Attorney General's office is looking to make a statement here, looking to make someone suffer, and with some indictments, it looks like. But if they're actually going after landlords versus people that are just doing a rental in their house once in a while, it could mean trouble. Now, we know that the subpoena has just come a few weeks after Airbnb won a hard-fought case on appeal in New York. Airbnb host Nigel Warren was fined $2,400 for hosting a visitor from Russia for 3 nights. However, last week, an appeals court ruled that Warren's rental was legal because his roommate was there at the time. We talked about this in a previous show. But looks like New York City's upping the ante, and I'm sure that doesn't come with any pressure from the hotel associations in those towns, because they hate these Airbnb opportunities, for sure. All right, one thing I've always been annoyed at, and if you're a parent that did this, you would have... I would have been annoyed at you. I would not have said anything to you, but I would have probably, under my breath, been not real nice. Have you ever, you guys see these, once in a while you see a kid on a leash, and I understand some kids are out of control, and parents have a hard time controlling them. We did a lot of timeouts in public spaces to make our kids behave. A little bit of how should we say, public embarrassment. No major. Just stand, look at a wall for 2 minutes. Nothing totally bad, but it really was a good thing to adjust the attitude. And so every time I would see a parent, and sometimes it was kind of like, really, do you have to have your child on a leash? And it really drove me nuts. But now there's a new kind of leash, a digital leash. And this is for kids a little older. It's called Flip, F-I-L-I-P. It's an electronic leash for your kid's wrist, and it's coming to AT&T. So basically, as you expect from a device targeted to tagging kids, the Flip doesn't come close to function as something more grown-up like the Galaxy Gear. It's mainly intended to be a colorful way to keep tabs on your kids wireless, while they can call you on the wrist, and it also sees the current location via GPS, Wi-Fi, and cell tower triangulation. It sends text and sets safe zone parameters, so you know when your child is literally out of bounds. And for those of you moms out there that are very protective, this probably is something that you'll want to consider. My mom let me really explore. I grew up in the country, and so a lot different than living in a city. I will be first to admit. And me and my buddies would be gone all day. We'd leave the house in the morning, and we'd go tromps through the woods. And, we really explored our local community, very rural local community. And it was, we were, I'm sure today most parents would flip out if my mom would let me do that. So that's why I'm sure this thing is called Flip, because when parents don't know where their kids are, they flip out, right? But anyway, this is available, and I think that this kind of a electronic leash is more acceptable in that it adds a little layer of protection. It's not like you've got them held like a dog collar, but it's definitely one of those types of things where you can build a trust factor if used right. The kids are out playing. You say, hey, don't go down past such and such house, and if they don't push that boundary. You can maybe open the boundaries up a little more, or have a discussion when someone goes out of bounds and so forth. I think that's but I don't think it's a replacement for a parent paying attention to their kids. I don't want an electronic device being a babysitter, or reducing parenting, because parenting is about involvement, right? So what do you guys think about this flip? Do you think this thing is a little overboard? Do you think it's a great idea? Again, it's just it's basically a watch, and tracks your kids, and they can call home if they need to. Little emergency call button on it. So love to hear what you guys think about it. Drop me an email here, of course, at the show, and you can do that, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com. All right, Google Glass, major update today. Matter of fact, I didn't have Glass on at all today. And matter of fact, I think the battery went dead because I didn't charge it last night. But Google Glass now lets you look up public transit directions. So that's pretty cool. One thing that I am horrible at, and I don't have to take too much public transportation, but my kids are taking it all over the place. My son can tell me which bus goes here, there, where, back and forth, and it's pretty. I just, he's definitely a city kid, and me, I'm in the car burning petrol. So, but this is great for city dwellers because it's got the ability to tell you how far you are from a bus stop, and you can get directions, all kinds of cool stuff that's tied to the transit system. Which I think if they really have it integrated well, could be huge, because from my house to the closest bus stop is like, I think maybe 25 minutes by a brisk walk, mostly uphill. And I think it would be cool because, oftentimes my son or my daughter's left the house and they missed the bus. And because we live in an area that's only serviced by a couple of different bus routes, usually they have to wait 30 or 45 minutes for the next bus. So if they miss it, it drives them nuts. So I think something like this, where they say, hey, you got 7 minutes to make it to the bus stop. If you need to run, you can run. If you can slow down your walk, you can slow down. And that's counting if the bus is on time. But or if something's tied into a real transit system, it could tell you a real ETA of a bus that's approaching your select bus stop, or if you get ready to do a transfer, tells you which transfer to take and so forth, and your time, your countdown counter, and all that stuff. So we'll see how all this works. I'll be testing this, and we'll give you an update on it when we get to play with it. I've gotten at least a half dozen emails from in text. From those of you that listen to the show, that keep telling me you need to go see Gravity. The first one that came in was from Bree, one of our longtime listeners of the show. Matter of fact, she's one of our government workers that is furloughed at the moment, so she had a little extra time on her hands, and she was able to go see Gravity in IMAX 3D. She said it was had to pay the $13 or $14 to go see it, but she said it was worth every penny to see it in the IMAX theater. She says she doesn't think anyone in the theater breathed for the whole time that the movie was going on. Yeah, I'll read her comments a little bit later, but The Verge has an article from legendary astronaut Buzz Aldrin. Said he was very, very impressed with Gravity. And that to me is like, that's one heck of an endorsement. So I wasn't able to go see Gravity this weekend. I'm going to try to catch it this week. But this might be something you guys add to your go-see list, because it sounds to me like it's the place to watch this will be in a big theater on a big screen, again with IMAX 3D. Spend the extra money. I'm just again and again hearing that this is over the top, well worth it. And if you've seen Gravity, love to hear your review of it as well. Definitely probably going to be the Nerd Geek movie of the year with a lot of drama. Unboxings are probably one of the biggest things on the net now as far as viral videos go. And if you are into industrial design and you like to see all the packages on different types of stuff, which you really, that unboxing really kicked off by the beautiful design work that Apple did in the delivery of its early products. It was really unheard of to get something that was so, beautifully packaged. I've got iPad boxes here on shelves that just from the package alone, I haven't thrown it away. That tells you something, right? So we know that, it's a big fair on YouTube, but looks like someone had a lot of fun by they did an unboxing of a calculator. And this is a great parody of all the glutted videos that exist for smartphones and tablets. It's to be fun. It talks a lot of insightful comments about cardboard boxes, drop test. This is pretty funny. It's a pretty funny video. I have it linked up in the show notes. I think you guys will get, this is the way viral videos are done. I should have brought this article up with the gravity article, but the first man to walk in space, did you know he almost got stuck out there? Of course, the first man to walk in space was not an American. Alexei Leonov, who was born in the Soviet Union, was one of the 20 Soviet Air Force pilots to be chosen for the first cosmonaut group. And he basically did his famous spacewalk March 18th, 1965. And everything went good. He was able to get out of the capsule for about 18 minutes, float around, do some all kinds of stuff, and then he run into a little trouble. It gets interesting. I'm not gonna ruin the punchline, but let me put it this way: he almost died. The suit techno. All right, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to give too much away. So I'll let you guys read the article. Fascinating. I never knew this. And what happened, of course, there's a lot more to the story. But it's a great write-up. I have a link up in the show notes for you to check out, okay? What else have I got in my stack here? Another thing on gravity, on the sound effects. I'll have that up in the show notes. Hey, Samsung is denying that it's looking at a Best Buy acquisition. Samsung and Best Buy, of course, are one of the biggest retailers in the U.S. already and enjoy quite a comfortable relationship. And the Korean manufacturers opened up experience shops in nearly 1,400 Best Buy outlets, which are essentially a Samsung store within a Best Buy store. And the outlet benefits from the foot traffic, while Best Buy would presumably be earning from loaning out its rental space. And apparently there's some chatter in South Korea that perhaps Samsung might be willing to take its relationship with Best Buy to the next level. Today, Samsung has officially put those rumors to rest by issuing a short and to-the-point statement on its blog, saying, no, we're not buying it. But those types of rumors have a tendency to sometimes set wheels in motion in a big way. I saw this article today. There was, a lot of people were blasting the new big monitors at the Fox newsroom. Apparently, Shepard Smith gave a tour of the Fox News desk, their new upgraded studio, which features a team of staffers in the background working on what appears to be gigantic tables. And according to Shepard Smith, those are basically information specialists frantically pawing away at what Fox calls BATs, or big area touchscreens, most likely Microsoft hardware running Windows 8. They put a 55 inches of Twitter feeds and other news sources at their fingerprints. Not kidding. These are huge, huge, huge. And it just looks, well, when you see, let me put this up. You guys have got to see this. Hey, what are you doing? You guys, if I can turn a camera. My daughter is, are you getting dressed up for Halloween already? You want to stick your head around here? So she's standing outside. That's not real becoming of you. I'll be honest. That doesn't look that great. So she's standing outside the studio, looking in through the sliding glass door, and I see this weirdo outside It's sorry that I would pass on that outfit. Nice unibrow though you got going on there. You like it? Oh, you feel manly? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna dress up as a man? Oh my God. So anyway, so let me show you this Fox News studio. Teenagers. They can be fun one moment, fun and sweet and innocent, and then the next moment they can be hell on wheels. So what it looks like is it looks like someone has taken an iPad and blew it up by X25 or X50 and then put people on a this has to be a joke because it shows people sitting in front of these big huge monitors scrolling through stuff. Why can't they do this on a this is just weird. Whoever thought this up? I'm not kidding you. It's just bizarre. And those of you that are watching the video, just look at these things. They look like overstuffed iPads. And is this really that productive? It looks like they've got Flipboard working. I don't understand this. It's just really weird, folks. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before from it's just weird. All right, when you guys see it, I think you're going to agree with me. I'm just sitting here, my mouth is kind of like, are you kidding me? So apparently the individual displays can be sent to the air at a moment's notice. But I don't understand why Fox thinks they want their reporters checking Facebook feeds for tagging themselves in photos, to be honest. But it's very, very strange. Anyway, we'll see how long this lasts. Looks like they spent a lot of money. The amount of money they spent on this will probably make most grown men cry. It's almost making me dizzy. Let me get off this page. There we go. All right, a new Terminator-style bot can self-assemble, leap, climb, and swarm. You got to watch this video. It's from MIT. It's really, really cool. I have it lift up. I have bots listed in the show notes. So I'm going to say you'll have to check it out. Also, there's a cool viral video out right now talking basically about a girl. Basically, it was a promotion for an upcoming remake of the film Carrie, where this gal, basically they spoofed a bunch of people into thinking that she had telekinetic powers. She freaked out a bunch of coffee shop patrons. I'll have the link up in the show notes. You can check it out. And you see people's reactions. I just can't believe that they were fooled that much, but you guys will see it. I'll have a link up for you. Hey, on the energy side, U.S. now produces more oil and gas than Russia and Saudi Arabia. Huh? I read that and I go, what? Apparently, U.S. will end 2013 the world's largest producer of petroleum and natural gas, surpassing Russia and Saudi Arabia, with the Energy Information Administration estimating that the combined U.S. petroleum and gas production this year would hit 50 quadrillion British thermal units, or 25 million barrels of oil equivalent a day, outproducing Russia by, 5 quadrillion BTU? Most of the new oil was coming from the western states. I didn't realize that this was getting that big again in the U.S. Guess we've got a lot of oil here. Why don't we just buy someone else's and then save our oil when they run out? All right, Russian pirates have offered to host NASA's website while the U.S. government is shut down. It's kind of funny. The Pirate Party of Russia says, we do care about this issue around your website and the budget crisis in USA. Therefore, we'd like to offer you bulletproof co-location and dedicated service on our hosting platform till the end of the crisis. We stand for internet privacy, and as a result, you would not have to worry about the programs such as PRISM and other illegal activities of Secret Service of different countries. Your traffic, your activity, and the activity of all your users will be in safety. We love Mars. So a little bit of assistance to run the NASA website from the Russian Pirate Party. interesting write-up about the shutdown of Silk Road. Of course, that was the underground BitTorrent site that was moving illegal drugs and all kinds of other things. But they're saying now that this is going to open the floodgates to a bunch of sites that are probably going to come in, and be even more hidden, that will offer the same type of services. So instead of having one, with the FBI announcing that this guy essentially made millions of dollars, that's going to make opportunists get out and run these sites, and probably not in the United States, probably offshore. All right, do you have an iPhone, specifically from Verizon, that you're paying a tethering charge to? I've got a link for you. You're definitely going to want to check this article over on ours, talking about how this individual shares his iPhone internet connection without paying Verizon extra. And it's easier than you think. So I have that link up in the show notes for you to check out. This should not come as a surprise, but over on Boing Boing, they're saying that NSA Freedom of Information requests are up 1,000% post-Snowden. From June 6th to September 4th, the National Security Agency had a load increase of 1,054% over its 2012 intake. In a 3-month span, the agency received 3,382 public record requests. For comparison, the NSA received just 293 requests over the same period in 2012. I'm surprised the number's not higher. I had to take a shot of water here for those of you that are listening. All right, any audio buffs out there? Well, and you want to make a project that's pretty good? A vocoder. You want to build a synth? This is pretty cool stuff. This is not an easy project, but can be made for anyone with a little bit of soldering skills and the chops to make it. They've got a kit. It's pretty cool, vocoder. And this project comes out of what's called the MFOS. MFOS. It's a 12-channel vocoder. And I'll have this link up in the show notes for you to check out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, the audio buffs will. Apple's going to announce its Q4 2013 earnings on October 28th. So that call will come in at the end of the month. So we'll see what they have to say with the earnings. Hear about this 9-year-old that hitched a ride from Delta from Minneapolis to Vegas. This kid was pretty needed to use some social engineering tricks and a variety of different things. He got on an airplane and they didn't figure it out till he was just about to Vegas. So Delta got a little egg on their face, and some parents are still probably in trouble because this kid basically is underneath the Las Vegas Child Protective Services. Crazy stuff. All right, and NASA's new moon probe has entered lunar orbit. So after a month-long journey, the Lunar Atmosphere and Dust Environment Explorer LADE, designed to probe the moon's thin atmosphere, had its deorbit burn on Sunday, October 6th, and they are now at the desired orbit. And yes, those groups are essential, and they are still working. There's some discussion about what's going to happen to us as things change here in the world, and specifically on Earth, talking about things that we can do to protect ourselves as we move out in future years when our atmosphere, upper layer becomes thinner and so forth. And pretty cool discussion on space.com on building some ecosystems that humans can live in. Maybe not here, maybe somewhere else. Jupiter-bound NASA spacecraft will swing by the Earth on Wednesday. So they're getting a gravity boost here. There'll be a slingshot maneuver around our planet to build up speed for the long trip to Jupiter. NASA's 8,000-pound Juno spacecraft will skim just 350 miles above Earth's atmosphere on Wednesday, getting a critical gravity assist more than 2 years after launching a Certicus path. Oh man, my abuse of the English language is horrible. But anyway, it's getting a gravity assist, and folks have got all kinds of information on the website and where you can track this. But this gravity assist will boost the speed to 6,330 miles per hour. So don't worry, there's people on the job. NASA employees are working, and the team that's going to do this are there and going to be ready to make sure the boost happens correctly. Okay, final space news. Government shutdown knocks out the U.S. radio telescopes offline. So if there needs to be any If ET is trying to reach us right now, you have to wait till the government shutdown's over, okay? And final thing on BBC that I found pretty interesting. There's a new project, a 10-year, billion-pound neuroscience project is aimed to revolutionize our understanding of the human brain. This study has just begun. Scientists from 135 institutions, mostly in Europe, are participating in the Human Brain Project. So basically, co-funded by the EU, it aims to develop the technology needed to create a computer simulation of the brain. It will also build a database of brain research from the tens of thousands of neuroscience papers published annually. This is pretty cool. The Brain Project is an attempt to build completely new computer science technology that will enable us to collect the information we've built up about the brain over the years. And so anyway, this is pretty cool stuff. You know, if they are able to reproduce a brain digitally, beam me up, download me, and upload me, please. The brain, of course, has over 100 billion neurons and nerve cells and around 100 trillion synaptic connections. So doing this is going to be very, very difficult. But this is going to be $1 billion spent on this over the next 10 years and should go a long way to helping brain disease and a variety of different things as well. I think it's going to be cool. There's a good article over on the Washington Post walking a techie walking through the healthcare.gov's website. And there's been a lot of criticism of the system and how it is barely functional at this point. And they're talking about all the problems, the interoperability, and talking to different databases and so forth. And in essence, this individual who is the founder of App Dynamics, which is an application management company, among other things that make sure essential software applications of customers such as Netflix stay up and running, did the examination of healthcare.gov. And he says, there's probably basically more problems to come, and he doesn't know what they can do in the interim. He says throwing more hardware at it probably isn't going to fix it, because it's the underlying communications with other systems is probably the big issue. And he says the government's going to get a handle on this. They need to put some really good instrumentation in place. And he says the problem is if you're fighting a fire and it's dark, you don't know what's going on. In other words, you can't manage what you can't measure. So he said I would first put something in place so you can measure what's happening. The second thing he'd do is he'd start building a very good load testing environment so everything could be simulated in a load test and move faster. Really, everything is about speed right now, how quickly you can find the problem and fix them. 90% of the effort is finding what to fix. Making the coding change is only about 10%. So we'll see where this leads. But here in Hawaii, you can get through to the point where you find out how much you're going to have to pay, but you can't actually look at the plans. You can't go all the way through to purchase. So it's, we're already a week in, and no one here in Hawaii has been able to sign up for a new healthcare plan. So I heard that, I think that's the case in a lot of places, but well, hopefully they'll get it working for those that need it. Google, Facebook have set to drive down cost of the internet access. They've joined the Alliance for Affordable Internet, so that's an announcement that's come out of them. Congratulations on that. Google Play has added Game of Thrones, True Blood, and other HBO programming to the Google Play Store. So that's big, and filling one of the larger gaps since offering up to this point. So you can pick up the entire season or watch an episode of The Newsroom or Boardwalk Empire and so forth. So very, very cool stuff available on Google Play. There's a over at makeuseof.com is a program called LeechBlock. LeechBlock is basically an application that when you go to Facebook or Reddit or a variety of different sites that it's trying to block, it basically say, hey, knucklehead, you can't go here. You can go there later, but you can't go there now. So what LeechBlock is designed to do is make people that don't have any self-control from being on social media sites and so forth, it blocks them from doing so for a certain period during the day. And this looks pretty incredible. And I'm thinking to myself, I guess teenagers doesn't want to get off Facebook, so Leech Block might be the application to install. So you can block sites and sets, block sites at specific times, block sites for specific lengths, password protection, wildcards, and exceptions. And it even has adult filters and a variety of just pre-built stuff that basically you can add en masse to block sites that you may go to on a regular basis. But parental control, I like this one very much. So anyway, Leech, again, Leech Block, LEECHBLOCK is the name of the program, and it's an add-on for Firefox. 8 ways to improve Windows 8 with Win plus X menu editor. So if you want to improve your Windows 8 experience, definitely check this article out. I have a link up in the show notes for you to review. Pretty good suggestions in this. And I read through this, and it's talking about the variety of different things that drive a lot of people crazy with Windows 8. Over in PC World, we got an article talking about 5 Wi-Fi security myths you must abandon now. And these are pretty good. Myth number 1, don't broadcast your SSID. It says every wireless router or wireless access point has a network name assigned to it. The technician term is SSID. By default, a router will broadcast its SSID in beacon, so all users within this range can see the network on their PCs or other devices. Preventing your router from broadcasting information, thereby rendering it somewhat invisible to people you don't want on your network, might sound a very good idea, but some devices, like including PCs running Windows 7 or later, will still see every network exists, even if they can't identify each one by name, and unmasking a hidden SSID is a relatively trivial task. Number 2, enable MAC address filtering. Talks about why this is basically pointless, and it generally just goes on to say that a hacker using a wireless network analyzer will be able to see the MAC address of every computer you allowed on your network, and it can change his or her computer to that MAC address, which will allow it in. Myth number 3, limit your router's IP address pool. So every device on your network must also be identified by a unique IP. A router's assigned IP address will contain a string of digits like 192.168.1.10. Unlike MAC addresses, which device sends the router, your router will use its dynamic DHCP to assign the IP address. So basically, according to one persistent tech myth, you can control the number of devices that can join your network by limiting the pool of IP addresses your router can draw. And they say that's baloney for the same reason. Next claim is number 4, disable your routers to save DHCP server. So it goes on and talks about, things that, and it really doesn't give you any recommendations. It just talks about things that probably aren't going to help the security of your network. I'll have that for you at GNC-shownotes.com, /896. Steve Ballmer's last shareholder letter lays out Microsoft devices and services future, and pretty interesting read. I'll have that up for you to review if you so desire. Every once in a while I go looking for website designs, and we have a variety of websites that I run for a variety of different purposes. And one site I like to go to is webdesignerdepot.com. They do a lot of review of a variety of different themes, templates that are out there, many that you can buy, design ideas and so forth. And I tell you, there are some really creative folks out there. I wish I had just 1/10 of some of the talent that these designers have in some of these cool templates, but a great place to find a template for a website. LG is confirming production of a bendable and unbreakable smartphone display. It's been a long time coming, but LG's foray into elastic smartphone display is finally going mainstream. The company has confirmed that it will begin mass producing a new lightweight 6-inch panel that it claims is the world's first flexible OLED panel for smartphones. The display is built from plastic substrates that it gives its bendable properties, allowing it to be fixed inside devices with curved but likely rigid design. Reports suggest that LG could include its first flexible screen inside a G Flex, the new 6-inch smartphone set to be announced next month. And but I'm sure we're going to see these babies at CES. So keep your hopes up, okay? I'm sure it's going to be really, really cool. There's some storage deals at Amazon. I hope these are still available, but some great pricing on storage. Definitely check the link up that I have for you on that. And if you're a Valve fan, Valve unveils a prototype Steam machine, talks about its specification and what's going to be in this thing. So it looks like they're building some pretty impressive hardware for you. So those of you that are Valve fans, that's going to be a good article for you to check out. And finally tonight, Skype app for iPad and iPhone have gotten an iOS 7 interface makeover. There's been updates, so you probably got that available for you if you're on auto update already. But that kind of dials into what we've had for content tonight. Went through it fast and furious. Hope you enjoyed the full breadth of the content. I do have some email that has come in. Don't forget, in tonight's show notes, we're going to have the B&H links to the Nikon 610, the new camera that's out. Let's see if I can find, get an image of this here. It's on pre-order. Now, hold on to your hats, you Nikon fans. $19.99 is going to be the body price. And again, I'll have that link up in the show notes for you. If you're thinking about picking this camera up, take care of the geek here and order it through B&H, through our affiliate link. And we get credit for that. And B&H is nice enough to give us a little bit of money for your purchase. So we appreciate it if you make that purchase via our affiliate link if you're thinking about picking up the Nikon 610. Again, we have some camera lenses, a 24 by 85 kit, a 28 by 300 lens, a 24 by 85, and an 80 by, so they got several kits. So a link will be up in the show notes for you on that. Got an email from MS Small Biz. He says, Todd, sad. All I can say. And this is an article that's over in Business Insider talking about the best and worst places for internet in the world. And this is a map. And I'm just going to let you take a look at it. And when you see where we rank and where it lays out on free and what's open and what's closed across the world, I think you will agree with MS's comments in basically saying sad. I want to thank everyone that sent in their little homework assignments, likes and dislikes for the 900 show. We'll cover that then. I definitely appreciate that for everyone that submitted those. Here's an email from Tim, talking about EA. He said, Todd, the disaster that was SimCity released was only just a few months ago, and it seems that the folks at SimCity have had a change in heart. Maybe they finally got tired of me typing bigger maps in offline mode on every Facebook post they posted. Maybe they found some new management, or perhaps a few months after SimCity's rollout, they're starting to see less users playing. Whatever happened, it seems Electronic Arts is finally going to implement the most of the changes that haven't been demanded from day one by nearly every single fan of the series. Specifically, bigger city maps and offline mode and user-generated mods and content, like every other SimCity that's made this franchise world famous. Looks like I might end up buying the game now, which is great news because I've always wanted. Don't think I've ever boycotted something to this degree before. And this is from Tim. Thanks for that. I'm not a Sims. I know this. I know Angela's wife is a big SimCity player. I haven't played SimCity since version 1. So that just kind of gives you an indication there where I kind of fall in on that game. All right. Brees, this is the email Brees sent me. And if this doesn't convince you to go to Gravity. Now, I've known Bree's been a listener here of this show for many years. And she doesn't send me an email unless it's like, listen up. So listen up. Todd, prepare for the greatest space movie since Apollo 13. Gravity is unbelievable. We, the audience, were so breathless. No one coughed. No one spoke. No one ate any popcorn on their lap. You can hardly get up at the end. You have no breath. You must see Gravity in IMAX 3D. You need to do this. She goes on to say, I'm out of work because of Congress, but I took the $13. If you go before noon at my theater, like I did, it's a little less than normal cost, out of my savings for this extreme ride. More worth it than any money spent on any other movie. Prepare to be shaken. Now, doesn't that want you to go see Gravity? Gravity has not paid us a penny here, folks. They are not a sponsor. All right, just to be square. So we're straight up. Very, very cool. And everyone that applied for the contest coordinator position, thank you so much. We'll be reaching out to the person that we chose soon. And we're still, again, looking for someone to fill in as the insider coordinator. So we'll let you know on that. Let's see here. Got some suggestions, go bag stuff. Again, we'll save this all for show 900. No homework assignment for this show. So you guys can email me whatever you think. And we'll leave it at that. But got a few folks on the stream tonight. Thanks for being on the stream with us and watching the show. We appreciate you for being here. Don't forget to support our sponsor, and you can do that by going over to geekandcentral.com/GoDaddy. Lots of codes there to choose from. As I've always said, there's a code there for every occasion. Every dollar you spend at GoDaddy and use one of my codes is really a great way to support the show, because it ultimately comes back to me. So we appreciate you when you go out and pick up a GoDaddy product. Again, you can become an insider as well. 6.7 cents a day gets you when you become an insider at $2 a month, $2, $5, $10, $15, $25, or a one-time donation. Again, we are going to be bringing to you a crowdfunding opportunity. And if you've been thinking about making a big donation to the show, hold up until next week, until we launch this thing. Because I want you to have an opportunity to get some unique exposure and have a lot of fun with us in our CES coverage. And, I've said this before, CES is a $15,000 to $20,000 check as I have to write for that show. And the sponsors help us out a lot, but, it takes a lot to do this show, so we hope that you'll help us out with our crowdfunding campaign when we launch it next week. I'm really excited about it, and because I think we've come up with some really cool niche ideas as rewards, and we partnered up with another group that's going to really, I think, make this an exciting campaign. And it's pretty cool, some of the stuff how we've spaced it, and Jeffrey Powers and the team from Tech Podcasts that will be going to CES have worked hard on those offerings. So I'm so excited to share it with you. I have to zip my lip not to let the cat out of the bag. But if you want to support the show, this is going to be a great way to do this during our crowdfunding promotion. And I think you're going to be able to get your friends and companies that you work with on board. There's going to be some incredible exposure opportunities. We've reached about 35 million people on our 2013 coverage. 247 videos I think we produced with a 32 to 35 million total views. It's pretty incredible. So I think it's going to be really cool for all of you to get involved. But anyway, that's that. So thanks for being here, and thanks for being part of the Ohana. And we'll see you on the next show, everyone. Take care. Aloha. And those of you on YouTube, we're going to say adios to you as well. And those are on the live stream, thanks for being here. We'll see you later, YouTube.